Hello and welcome to our next tech tip. This tech tip is if you would like to see how your students did on a quiz and also view their log to see if they navigated away from the page during the quiz. You're going to choose the classroom that gave the quiz. And in that classroom over on the side, you're going to see quizzes. And on that quizzes, whatever the name of the quiz is that you gave, I gave directional regional term quiz, so I'm going to go ahead and click on that. And as I look at that, you're going to see a couple things over here. One is you can look at the quiz statistics. When you click on there, it will give you the statistics for this actual quiz. So it'll have a breakdown. It will have an average score for this quiz, a high score, a low score, and then a standard deviation, and then the average time it took the students to take it. It also has a graph that shows kind of where your students are. So this small little percentage down here, 10%, and then you can see here on the y-axis, you can see how far up it goes. So this is a pretty good distribution. You can see the majority of it's here. There's a 68% average. The high score was 100%, and the low score was 10%. It also has a breakdown by question. So the leg is also known as, you'll see that this was the correct response. 64% of students answered this, and then 11% here. And so 64% answered correctly. So you can go back and look and see where your students had issues with particular questions. And sometimes it's a good idea for you as a teacher to go back and say, maybe I need to reword that question, or maybe that's something that I need to recover. All right. So you can take a look here at that. If you go back, there's another option here where you can do moderate this quiz. Now, when I moderate the quiz, what I can do is I can look at each student individually. So for instance, this student here, they had 3 attempts, okay, or they took 3 attempts, I'm sorry. They finished in 4 minutes. Attempts left, they only have 1 because I allowed the class to have 4 so they could do test retakes. And this student scored a 5. Now, on this particular quiz, I allowed for the highest score to be used. So if I click on this here, if I click on this here, on the student's name, it's going to tell me that the student had 3 attempts. The first time they got a 3, the second time they got a 3, and the third time they got a 5. So you can see that there was an increase. But if you look up here, you'll see that there's a view log. You're going to hit the view log, and under view log, it's going to give you that student's actions. So for the first attempt, you can see this is the student's log, okay? And it said for these questions, they answered the question, answered the question, answered the question, okay? If I go to number 2, again, answered the questions, right? No problem, okay? If you look at attempt 3, you'll see that they had no issues. What you'll see is if they are having issues, sometimes it says stopped viewing the Canvas log. That might be a refresh, but it'll actually tell you that they navigated away from the page. So this is a good way to check up on them to see if they've actually navigated away from the page during the time that they were actually supposed to be taking the quiz. Okay, so this gives you a good example of what you would see if a student either navigated away or didn't. Here's another option for you on quizzes. If you click here, you can allow certain students an extra attempt. So for instance, extra attempts, everyone already has 4. I could allow this student to have 5 or 6 for this particular student. Every time, extra time on every attempt. So let's say that you have a student who needs time and a half as per their IEP. You would add the extra minutes here, and every attempt they would actually get that amount of time. Okay, so this will give you the option of really taking care of some of these things that you want this particular student to have extra time, or specifically for IEPs where you're going to allow a student to have extra time or time and a half or double time, whatever their IEP says. This will give you an opportunity to just do it for that particular student. And then as you scroll down, you can look and see how students did on the test. You can also see how many attempts they did and then their progression as they move along. Thanks for watching this tutorial, and I hope this helped.